everyone, this is Helen H. and welcome to my channel, Moss Cottage. I hope everyone is doing well today. I thought I would start on my next big girl. Now, I'm going to have to think of a different name because the big girl is my trash journal that I've already started, but I had an idea. Because I have two houses, I think I need to have two big trashies. So Big Girl is at the other house, and I thought that I would make one to have at the cabin using the stuff I got from the Happy Mail from Linda R. And I had a video a couple weeks ago from the wonderful Happy Mail I received from her. So I'm going to be making the Big Girl from this box, or part of a box. It looks like an insert to something though, because there's no ends and it doesn't look like she cut the ends off. I don't know what it was, but anyway, it's got this great recycle symbol on it, and I don't want to cover that up, at least not like the entire back. So I'm going to make that the back so I can think about it, and I'm going to actually use the other side as the front. So this is going to be the front. And I have pulled out already some of the papers that I thought I would use for the cover. These were from Linda's package, her Happy Mail to me. So I figured that even though these are beautiful papers and not really what we consider trash, she sent them to me for that purpose. So this is a really cool envelope type thing she made from wrapping paper. Unfortunately, either way that I put it, it is a tiny bit too big for the cover. So I am going to go ahead and take it apart and use some of the paper, this beautiful wrapping paper. I'm going to use this as well as some other things that she sent me. So I'm just going to tear off a piece because now I have this much here that could be used as pages in the journal, in the big trashy. I will make a video for the complete, for each step that I do making this journal, for those of you who don't know how to make a journal or want to know how I make my trashies. However, be forewarned, it's going to be over a long period of time because I'm not always here. So I'm doing this one now, but you know, when I get to step 2, I get to step 2. So while I'm making this video, I'm going to have to think of the name that I want to call it so that you can look for those videos if you want to see how it's going to be made. So I've got these other pieces of wrapping paper. This might be actually a book page. I'm not sure. And then I pulled out that she sent me a couple pages from a collage book. And I love these ladies, vintage ladies on the front, so I thought maybe one of those. Here's another beautiful piece of wrapping paper with flowers. And then I've got this piece. This is a book page from a book about flowers, or maybe just irises. I don't know, but these are irises on this one here. So I just have all these colorful papers, and I'm just going to figure out how I want to put them on the cover. Yeah, so that's what we're going to work on. We're going to work on the cover. So get something if you want to work on something yourself. I'm tearing this because I would like it to be a little more organic looking. And it would be fun if I could maybe make it look, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, like, let's see, if I work on it open this way, maybe it would be easier for you to see what I'm working on. The spine I'll do separately because we're going to have to figure out how we're going to put the pages in and everything. So here's this really cute paper. This looks so vintagey to me, doesn't it? Oh my gosh, that looks really cute. Let's see here. If I put it in between there, I'm going to lose a lot of it, and I really don't want to. So I think what I'm going to do is just maybe put that? I don't know. I see I don't have a plan. Here's a surprise, right? Okay, I'm not going to use those because those are from the collage book. But I do have this. This is the other thing I have. So let's see here. This is just going to be kind of like a big puzzle to put this together. I was thinking, you know, it would look cool to have this ripped like this. Let's see, what if I just did it that way? It's very busy. I'll tell you that much. It's extremely busy, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Let's see here. Okay, no, we're not going to do that. I really like this piece here. And so I'm just going to even up the end a little bit here. I think maybe I better get my paper cutter, because if I try even up the end and then I try even it up again and again and again, I'll just end up shaving off the whole end here. So I'm just going to even it off a little bit. And I think I'm just going to make a decision and put some stuff down. Doesn't that sound good? Like, get on with it, Helen, right? So maybe something like that. And we've got this piece here. And then I've got this piece here. Okay, so here's the thing. I also have other stuff, surprise, that I'm going to add to this journal. I've got a whole bag of fabric scraps. So I might put some fabric scraps on here. That would be super fun. And I have a whole, let's see if I can lift it up. My elbow's kind of sore here. A whole bin here. This is huge. And there's an owl sitting in here. He sits in here because this sits up on a piece of furniture, and he look, isn't he cute? He looks down on me. But this is all trash too. So this is all stuff I can use as well, because it's a trash journal and this is a whole lot of trash. But I'm going to put him over to the side here for now. And I'm going to get on with it. Okay, so let's, thinking. All right, I'm going to put this piece down because I just like this piece a lot. So let's put this one down first. And we're just going to work around it. That's what we're going to do. And I don't want to cover up too much of it, so, because I want to see it. Like I said, I think that this is vintage wrapping paper. I have a whole bunch of vintage wrapping paper at the other house, and it's pretty much in my hoard vault because I don't want to use it. But Linda was kind enough to share this piece with me, and I love it. Okay, so let's do that, and then this can go, let's see here, what else do I have? I've got the irises. I'm thinking this is actually too dark. I'm not going to use this piece for this. It'll go in the journal, but not for this. I think I'm going to go ahead and just put this piece down here. So while I'm gluing this and everything, I hope you're gluing along or slow stitching or organizing or fussy cutting or whatever it is you're going to be doing. So yesterday I just kind of gave myself one of those days, and I was very annoyed with myself. I had lots of things I needed to do, and I just kept thinking, oh, well, I'll just do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, well, I already had stuff to do today. So this morning when I got up, like I literally, after I had my quiet time, I got dressed and I got going. I cleaned the 2 bathrooms here before 9:15. They were done. Then I had to go outside and do some work outside. I had some blackberries to plant. You can never just say, oh, well, I'm just going to throw these in the ground when you're at in the mountains. That is for sure. Because everything is, okay, let me just see here which lady I want to use. I want to use one of these ladies on the front here. See, unfortunately, these books are so cool because there's cool stuff on the back, but maybe I can use some of the back and some of the front. Okay, let's see here. I'm just trying to pick one that, I don't know. Oh, I like her. I like this one right here down at the bottom. She's kind of in the sepia. Let's use her. But yeah, so you can't just say, oh, I'm just going to plant these. You literally have to have a crowbar with your shovel to get anything in the ground up here, because you're going to encounter rocks. So I never in 3 years had ever seen the deer eat blackberries. And Birdie had looked it up for me. We were talking about that, and she said, yes, they do. They do like blackberries. And I said, well, I've lived here for 2 years, and 3 years, and I've never seen them eat blackberries. Well, that was until yesterday. Because I was up here, I just came up here to grab something. I was actually working downstairs. Well, it was 2 days ago, actually. And I'm just trying to figure out what background I want her on. Or if I want her near one of these flowers. We'll go with this one right here. This is a Melitza iris. But anyway, so I came up here to grab something, and I'm looking out the window, which goes to the back of the house, and I had the pots with the blackberries I wanted to plant just sitting where I was going to plant them, right on the edge of the woods back here. And I come to my desk and I look out, and there's a big doe eating the leaves off of my blackberries that my dentist had given me, and they had been in the pot and they had started to root and get really nice leaves and everything, and she basically stripped the whole thing. There were only some tiny little leaves left on them. I was so mad. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. So anyway, I figured I need to just trust that the roots are good, because they did have lots of leaves on them. I'm going to use those in this journal too, but probably not anymore on the front page. But anyway, so I put those in the ground today. It took me forever and a day to get those in the ground, because I had to pry out rocks and everything, put in extra dirt. Because if you take, some of these rocks are like this big. This is why you need a crowbar. Get the rocks out and everything, but then you need to get dirt to fill it, because there's not enough backfill, dirt to go back in the hole. So it was kind of an ordeal, but I did get them in. And then, of course, because I know now that the deer will eat them, so I want to give them a chance to grow, I had to put tomato cages around all of them. And I'm just going to save this where it says Melitza, what this iris is. I might use it as her name or something. But anyway, so let's see here. I'm wondering, does every piece of the front... Oh, I have... No, that's a part of that. I can't use that. Well, this also has girls on it too. They're all dressed like cats, but I might take some of these here. Just one row of these, and use some of this, because this is so pretty too. Anyway, so I got those in the ground, put the cages around them, but I also have to put the animal netting around the cages, because the deer will just eat right around the cages. They don't care, they'll just eat right around poke their noses in the cages and eat. So I didn't want that. So that was a big ordeal. And I had to, what else did I do? I picked some blackberries, and I harvested some of my lettuce in my bed, my flower bed. My garden, one of the 4x8 garden things. See, I'm just trying to figure out how to do this here, what I want to do here. Maybe something like that. Yeah, something like that would work. And there is some white showing, but we can get around that. We can fill some color in here. I'm just trying to figure what goes next. So this goes next. But anyway, yeah, so I did a lot of work outside today. a lot of hard work today. And what else did I do besides cleaning the bathroom? Oh, yeah. So I'm outside. You know how you like, you have a list of things. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. And then you end up doing like 6 other things. The onions, the Egyptian walking onions are done. And so I don't want to waste them. They're in one of the beds, the 4x8 beds. And so was that there? Or was I going to put that there and then that there? What was it? Okay, now I'm completely confused. Or was that there? Well, I don't want to cover that whole thing up. Oh, for crying out loud, Helen. This is why you should take a picture of your work. Let's see. No, I want her more towards the middle. I'm just going to put that up there. There is a little bit of white there, but I've got my watercolor crayons. We can deal with that. So I had to harvest all of the Egyptian walking onions, which is a lot. There is tons of them. And that includes, you know, cutting the stalks off and everything. So you just have the bulbs, but then you got to peel every one of the bulbs. And I had a big colander full, and then I had to put them in the food processor and grind them all up, or chop them up, and then freeze them, because now I have bags and bags and bags of frozen chopped onions, so that if I don't have fresh onions up here, or, you know, I don't want to cut up an onion, I have them up here. I did that the last time I was here for the other house also. So both houses now I've got bags of frozen chopped onions. You see this? You see here. There we go. All right, so now let's put this iris. That is an iris, right? That's not an orchid. That's an iris. All right, let's put that there. So this is a very... Well, do I like that one better? Or that one? No, I'm gonna go with my original one, because she's sepia. The girl I picked out has the sepia, and that's kind of the color that this iris that I have also is. So, yeah. And I've been working on some journals that I'm gonna put in my Etsy shop soon. Some fall themed journals. And I've been real busy, but I'm exhausted now. Gosh, this morning really took it out of me. I was going to go out for 1 hour. I went out at about I went out about 9:45, and I worked until 1. Yeah, that was the 1 hour I was going to go out. And I was sitting on my front porch the other morning, either yesterday or the day before. And just, there was no wind, nothing, no rain, no wind, nothing. And all of a sudden, I hear a tree crack and fall in the woods. And it sounded like it was down on one end of my driveway that we don't use. It kind of just dead ends into the woods. And it sounded like it was down at that end. And I mentioned it to my husband when he got up, and he said he went to check, but he didn't see anything. But I was hoping that I could find it, because if it's a good tree, he could have cut it up and used it for firewood. But I was just real interested, because it was so long falling. It was like almost like the sound was in slow motion, you know, like the crack and then all of that. Okay, so that's a good cover. I love that. Look, this is a good cover. Now, I do have this little thing that says Melitza, and I think I'm just going to cut this off here and put it under the little girl, like her name is Melitza. But it says here, it says, please turn to page 82 for additional illustrations of iris. So this book must have lots of different flowers on it. And I just need to trim the top off here. I'm not being too precious because it is a trashy journal. Okay. All right, let's put this, and I'm going to put that under her name right there. Of course, we can always add to the cover because it's a junk journal, right? It's a trash journal, so we can always put whatever we want on our covers. Oh, you know what I said I had was some fabric scraps. Let's do that. Let's put some fabric scraps on there. Let's see what we have. I have this bag of scraps. One of my subbies sent me this huge bag of scraps, and these are all like little squares. I used these the other day in a project, so you saw those ones. But my sister-in-law gave me a big bag of scraps from her sewing projects, and I was using those because at Fiber Arts I started the Fiber Arts group I go to up here on Tuesdays. I started to do a little slow stitching again. I had done some before and decided it just wasn't for me, but I thought, you know what, one of the other ladies was working on some slow stitch. Unfortunately, the last 2 times I've been, she hasn't been, so I haven't seen her project, whatever. But I think she's making a little book. She's making a little slow stitch book. So she kind of got me thinking, well, maybe I should give slow stitch just another shot. So I actually did have fun doing it. I'm not going to show you what I was working on because it's really not anything yet. You know, the slow stitch is just that, slow stitch. You don't get things done really fast. Let's see here. Let's just cut this off here. I'm just making, I mean, these are just all funky shapes. I'm not sure what my sister-in-law was cutting out, that she had so many of the same. I don't think she quilts, but she's got all these ones that are the same kind of shape. Huh, I'll have to ask her. But anyway, let me put the fabrics aside, the bag of fabrics, and I'm sorry for the crinkling. Okay, so I've got a couple pieces of fabric here, so these would be cute to just put here, there, or everywhere, right? Let's see here. All right, that one can go right there. I think, though, excuse my reach, I'm going to have to use the beacons for this because I don't think a glue stick is going to hold the fabric down. I have a feeling it will not. So, yeah, so this is going to be a super simple book to make. I'm not going to do a fancy binding on this, so just stay tuned if you're interested in making your own, but you don't know how. We will get to this. We'll do the binding and everything together. I think the next step after working on the cover is we'll work on picking the signatures and making the papers, and then the last one will just simply be how to bind it. Okay, so let's see here. This is a kind of weird shape one too. I don't know. I don't want to overthink this. I'm just going to stick these things on. A little bit of everything, but I thought it would be nice to put some fabric on because that would add some texture, right? I love the feeling of fabric covers on journals. Okay. Let's just put this right here. These are fun fabrics. Okay, where's this one here? Oops. Okay. All right. And then we've got this darker bluey one. Oh, there's a little bee there. I don't want to cover him up. I really love this paper. I don't really want to put anything there. Let me just like maybe put one more piece on here for now anyway. Yeah, let's use the bigger piece. So, oh, it's raining now. That's nice. I hope that you all are not getting the heat again. I hear some people saying that the temperatures are going to go back up to 100 and over. I'm hoping that's not the case for most of us, that's coming back, because that's pretty miserable. If it's what you're used to, you know, I'm sure there's places in Texas and stuff where that's normal, but it's certainly not for us. Oh, here's that little off cut piece that I had. Let's just put that there. I don't want to waste any of this. I love this paper so much. I don't know why. It just is very, I don't know, nostalgia, I guess. It looks like something had grown up with in the 70s. Well, I mean, I was born in the 60s, but I remember stuff from the 70s too. Okay, let's just put that there. Okay, this is a very busy cover, but that's okay. Okay. All right, I think I'm going to do that for the outside of the cover. Now, I do have stuff picked for the inside, and it's kind of cheating, but kind of not, because Linda had sent me these pictures from a magazine, and I just absolutely love them. Look at these dried flowers. These hydrangeas, I have hydrangeas like this, the ones that are more pointy, not the big round puffy ones, but they are more pointy, and they're getting ready to bloom right now. And then here's the other part of that article. They must have come from the same magazine, but I was just going to put those on the inside covers like this, kind of like I did with my fragment journal. You know what? I think I'm going to do that on the back here, like what I did with my fragment journal that I made. I just tore out a piece of a magazine. I didn't use the whole thing. All right, let me just put that to the side. Maybe I'm just going to do something like that, because I can always put something else up here. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Just put the piece of it here. It's probably a little more interesting than just putting the whole thing on there, to have like the raw organic edges, especially if it's a trashy journal. But I don't know if I want to do that with the inside front cover, because I really love that picture, the whole picture. But I didn't know how else to put it in the journal. I mean, I know I could make a, you know, either tip it in, or I could make the faux binding thing where you put a piece of paper, you know, put two pieces of paper and tape them together to make a page that you can sew in, but it's pretty the way it is. So let's take a look and see here. Let me move this over here so you can see. See, I really don't want to cut that one up. I think this one's just going to have to go in whole. I don't think I've ever done this before, like put a whole piece in, but I just love this picture so very much. Oh, so another thing, because this is what this reminded me, because this is like florals. I mean, these are dried florals or whatever, but it's got me back on gardening. I have got to remember after I do this video to make some notes about my garden, about like that all the onions are gone. Then I did put some more bulbs in for next spring, and that when I planted the blackberries and everything. I've got to start writing this stuff down. I have a book to use as a gardening journal, and not, oh, this one's going to an end. And so I've got to start making notes for myself so I know these things. Let's put that up to the very end there. There we go. There we go. Like that. Okay, it's not all perfectly glued down, I don't think. I thought I had one of those one of my credit cards here. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I do somewhere. I don't know what happened to it though, whether it fell on the floor, or, I mean, it's probably not on the floor, I would see it, but, or I put it away with my paint stuff. I don't know, but I know I had one. Okay, so these are the inside covers here. And that's going to be the cover. Isn't that pretty? I love it. And like I said, I'll probably keep adding stuff to the front, although probably not right up there because I just love that so much. We got a nice big, let's see how big this is. How big is this? This is 2 3/4 inches. So a lot of stuff can go in here. And we're doing a no-sew binding on this. And it's going to be one that is going to make it easy to work on your journal. So, yes. But we'll get to that when we get to that. So the next video I do working on this journal is going to be making the pages, making the signatures to go inside. I don't know how many signatures I'm going to put in here. My problem is I tend to make too many, and then, you know, by the time the book's filled, it's like, you know, gatoring like this. I've got to maybe just make it two signatures and leave myself lots of room to put the trash in, because some trash stuff is like, you know, it's thicker, you know, I mean, or it adds a lot of bulk. So I don't want to make it too many pages, because that's usually where I fall down. I just get excited and I add too many pages. So guys, I hope you liked this. I'm so excited to start a new journal. I wasn't going to allow myself to do any more new journals, you know that, because I'm still trying to finish some up. However, the reason for this was because now I have a big trashy to work on up here at the cabin, and then I don't have to take this big book back and forth, or the big girl back and forth, because both are quite large. So, you know, that's perfect, because I do have trash up here to put in her. So yeah, so Linda, thank you again for my lovely Happy Mail that you had sent me. I'm so excited to get started on this. It's going to be so much fun. So I hope you join me again when we continue on with this. But like I said, it's going to probably be a little while before I do the insides, because I do have some other things I need to get done in between. So guys, I hope you liked this video. Please give me a thumbs up if you did. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I ask that you do. And until the next video, guys, I hope you're all truly blessed. Bye-bye.